All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is Vermont lawmaker caught pouring water into rival's bag for months. Guys, this is a new level of petty. I like petty. Petty is cool. Well, how about this? Petty is funny, all right? As long as it's not happening to you, you know.
The water incident started in January of this year, and initially, we arrive in the legislature with snow, and I thought that I may have knocked snow off a tree that hung over my car, and it ended up in my bag, and I didn't really think too much of it. And then it happened again, and I made sure that when I got out of my car, I was paying attention to whether or not any snow got knocked in there. And I hung up the bag, and I came out. And it usually happened between 9 and noon, and sometimes later in the day. And it was wet. And then, it was clear. This was not a mistake.
Done on purpose. Based off of these videos here, guys, yeah, she kept doing this back to back to back. Hopefully none of his belongings were inside of there that actually mattered, right? If she's purposely destroying his things. Okay, hold on. Initially, I read the title. This is petty. It's kind of funny and silly. This isn't silly anymore, bro. Right? Imagine he has something extremely important inside of it. After seeing it, no, this isn't petty. Hopefully, something happened to her for this, guys. Right?
Intentional, and I didn't know who was doing it or why, and it made for really uncomfortable days up there. I remember walking around the hallways. And even in my committee room, looking at my fellow legislators, and it was like I was looking for a tell. You know what I mean by a tell? Right. A poker player has a tell, a tick that gives them away.
Right.
And I remember watching and waiting for that, and I didn't see it. And it got to the point where it was awkward. I mean, I was looking at them, waiting for something, and then, I just stopped going to the lunchroom. And I would stay in the committee room, and I'd go into the House chamber, and I'd look around, and it was miserable. It was just a miserable time, and that lasted for about 6 weeks. And I was racking my brains thinking, who would do this and why? And then I turned the question around a little bit to myself, and I said, well, who's treating me like crap? And there was only one person, and that was Representative Morrissey. And she would say things that were just mean. One of her favorites was we would be in proximity to one another, and we'd be in the lunch line or at an ice cream social.
She's been waterboarding my bag. Bro, this is ridiculous. Again, hopefully he stopped immediately, putting things of any type of importance inside of that bag. I'm just trying to figure out how long did it take for him to start actually setting up cameras?
Where there were other legislators around or near the elevator, because she had hip replacements and I've got neuropathy in my feet and bad knees. And anyway, she'd be in proximity and she would say, "What is that smell?" and then recoil from me. It was embarrassing and humiliating. And it was deliberate. There was no question about it. She intended to make me miserable, and it worked.
So this is a Vermont legislator making a comment to another Vermont legislator, something you might hear in a 4th grade classroom,
yeah, it's petty.
Right?
It's
plus the water.
Yeah, clearly.
The whole thing is just astonishing. Are you not just sort of your head blown and saying, this actually happened?
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised.
I am. I was talking with a very good friend of mine over the last several days, and I told her that, there are times when I'm able to just sort of distance myself from it, and then it'll sneak up on me, and it's like I've been slapped in the face, and I have to say to myself, this really happened. I'm not imagining this. This happened, and I'm still incredulous, gobsmacked that it really did happen.
I wasn't sure if you were going to be sort of smiling about this or angry about this. It seems pretty clear you're angry.
I have to say I'm sad, more that I'm sad. I'm disappointed. you know, when I was making the recordings, the camera only recorded at 5-minute intervals. So at the end of the day, I would go and I'd watch 5 minutes carefully, and didn't see anything. And then the next day, I was going through, I smoke, and I was outside the building and was having a cigarette and scrolling through another video, and then I saw her. And it was her. It was no mistake, but I suspected it was. But I did not have absolute confirmation that it was her. And when I saw it, I just felt sad, and I said out loud to myself, there's no good that's going to come of this. None.
She's
It's gonna be
apologized.
awful.
She said, I've given my sincere apology to Jim directly and publicly to be working towards resolution and restoration through our legislative process. It was conduct most unbecoming of my position as a representative and as a human, and is not reflective of my 28 years of service and civility. Do you forgive her?
No, listen. Okay, how about this here? Based off of his overall demeanor, he's gonna forgive her, because that's just kind of how he's gonna do it here, guys. Right? But I've given my sincere apology, bro. You're not sincere about nothing. Like, what you did was so petty and childish. 28 years of service. Are you joking? Like, you are a grown adult doing something petty. This is the equivalent of having a roommate, going into their room and moving their bed like 1 inch every single day closer to the wall. Right? Imagine the level of childishness this is it's crazy, guys. All right? It's kind of funny. I'm trying not to laugh at this man's misery, bro, but like, it's so crazy that I find it slightly funny. Other than, I definitely just hope that nothing got destroyed of his property. If it did, then I'm sure they'd be having a different conversation. But the fact that that is actually not popping up in this conversation tells me that it was probably like a shirt, bro. He started realizing early.
I want to believe, and I said on the House floor, that I believe in her sincerity. I want to.
Thank you for watching. Go to...
What I tell you, right? That was the vibe. You can't just allow people to do things to you. I understand, a lot of politicians, what they end up doing and saying is, you know what, I agree. I accept your apology. Bro, don't accept these people's apologies. Please, for the love of everything. They meant to do it on purpose. She did it for 6 weeks, and you're saying you accept... An apology is like me stepping on your shoe one time saying, I apologize. It was literally an accident. She did it on purpose. She did, right? Like, what you should have done is actually set up a trail camera, all right? You should have thought this out a little bit better, right? Set up a trail camera so when anything trips the sensor, it just records. So instead of just like blindly recording something for a certain amount of time, you'll actually get every single time she did it. Then we would have had more footage of just 2 days of her doing it. You said she did it for 6 weeks. Bro, that's wild. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.